How to stop masturbation addiction. Like any addiction, you are probably just a decision away. But as well know, it is not that simple. Excessive masturbation leads to compulsive behavior and addiction. This is especially true in the age of internet porn. It is only in this decade this problem gained attention when doctors across the world slowly started to receive complaints of erectile dysfunctions from otherwise perfectly healthy males. So the masturbation addiction should be seen in combination with the porn addiction problem. We will jump to how to stop masturbation addiction, but let us understand how this addiction is different from other substance addictions like alcohol, drugs, etc. In porn and masturbation addiction, the mind seeks novelty. It seeks newness in the visual material to get a similar amount of pleasure as last time. As covered in our Masturbation is Healthy or Not video, the brain needs bolder and weirder material every time to register and recognize the pleasure chemical dopamine. So when your pleasure center in the brain is compromised, nothing is more exciting than watching porn and masturbation. So, back to our subject, how to stop masturbation addiction. Do an online search and the suggestions are many, like, break procrastination, take supplements, stay away from porn, exercise, take help from a support group, etc. But when you are dealing with a compulsive mind, you really don't need 6, 7, 8 ways. You need little introspection to find your specific behavior pattern and start working on them. You certainly need short-term and long-term techniques to deal with a behavioral addiction pattern. Exercise, food, support group, nothing helps when you have a sudden urge for porn and masturbation. So you really need some handy techniques, which directly work on your body, and the mind automatically drops them. And you need long-term techniques where your brain is slowly rewiring. The good news is, the human brain is capable to build neural pathways, at any time, and at any age. You just need to do some actions on a long-term basis to build new patterns in the brain. Here are a few short-term techniques. 1. First and foremost, start with a strong decision. Not half-hearted wish. No techniques work for a weak person. It doesn't matter how many times you stumble, but be prepared to win few battles of the mind right away in the next 1 to 2 weeks. 2. Identify your triggers and do away with them. Nobody knows your trigger better than you. Take a conscious decision to either throw away those triggers or block them from easy access. So it may include throwing away your porn materials or using a porn blocker on your laptop and mobile. Stop easy access. The more hops you go through to access triggers, the more time you have to counter your brain. It is as simple as that. 3. There are some breathing techniques that can be used to immediately control the body. It is through the body you need to drop those urges immediately. One of the breathing techniques is to slow it down as much as possible. Take breathing as slow, as long, and as deep as possible. It is one of the ancient yoga techniques used for spiritual practices, but this technique works amazingly well on dropping the mind's compulsive behavior. Check the website for detailed description about this technique. Here are some long-term approaches for porn and masturbation addiction. The brain constantly builds neural pathways depending on what we do and what we don't do. Contrary to earlier understanding, the brain is actually moldable. This moldable brain helps us adapt, learn, and even recover. Brain changes chemically, structurally, and functionally every day regardless of age or health. Repetition and intensity help the brain making structural changes. So long-term techniques are all about repetition and intensity. Working on boredom in your life is the first step to rewire your brain. This is the single biggest reason for porn and masturbation addiction. And boredom is the result of porn addiction where your pleasure centers in the brain are compromised. This has to be seriously introspected and tackled individually for a solution. There is no one solution that fits all. But to start with, any solution for boredom must engage you physically. Do not deal with any digital activity. The best way to shake your brain out of some conditioning is intense physical activity. With that principle in mind, try to find a solution for your boredom, like cooking, gardening, house cleaning, volunteering, or just going out for a drive. Only after the first month, feel free to engage in digital activity. Remember 2 buzzwords, intensity and repetition help rewire the brain structurally. Extend this principle to any dimension of your life and slowly, you will get rid of your porn and masturbation addiction in just few short months. Hey, thanks for watching the video. Got 60 seconds for a quick survey? When people speak from experience, it debunks all myths. And often reveals the solution as well. Check the survey link in the description.